Atalasoft is a growing customer and developer-focused independent software vendor company located in East Hampton, Massachusetts. Since 2000, Atalasoft has been providing commercial imaging products, developer components, and customer solutions to companies around the world. I'm here today with President and CEO Bill Bither. Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you, Gordon?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. This is a great space you have here. Can you tell us about your business and company, along with the company history?
Sure. At Atalasoft, we provide document imaging technology in the form of developer components and tools. And we typically sell this technology to other ISVs, independent software vendors like ourselves. They develop custom vertical applications for the enterprise. And these, I mentioned document imaging. The technology we provide really centers around capturing digital documents, annotating them, cleaning them up, extracting information from them, and viewing them in either a desktop or a web environment. And this, the companies that use this technology have requirements to develop custom imaging where off-the-shelf systems, ECM, enterprise content management systems, don't fit the bill. So a little bit about our company history. As you mentioned, we started in 2000. I actually was doing this on the side for a while while I worked. My background is in mechanical engineering. I worked in aerospace. And I was out of school working for a few years and wanted a little bit of extra money. And so I started developing this shareware imaging product called iBatch. This product now, we still sell it. It's this $60 product that 100% of proceeds go to charity. But this is actually what got me started in the business of software development.
That's interesting. So the company you were working at, you saw a need. You saw this a need for this kind of technology where you were working.
Actually, it's sort of a different story than that.
Yeah.
I worked for 5 years at Hamilton Sundstrand in aerospace as a mechanical engineer. That's my background. I received a degree in mechanical engineering, and I was just always interested in doing things on the side and continuing to learn. I had this, even though my background is in mechanical engineering, I've always been pretty good at writing software and programming and creating these automated systems for engineering. And I'd have a little bit of time at night, instead of watching TV or whatever, I would write this software. The first thing I did is my father-in-law is an artist, and I was developing this imaging software to help him manage his artwork that we scanned in and took photographs of. And that morphed into this product called iBatch that I started to sell for, I think, $20. And after a year or two, I started making enough money not to fully support myself and my family, but just a pretty decent side income. And after 9/11, realized that the aerospace industry wasn't doing so great. Decided to take a leap, and I had done some consulting work for this company called Designer Controls that had this small imaging component called ImageX, and I at that point just decided to try to buy it, which I did, and in order to afford that, I maxed out all my credit cards. So that's how I got started. I didn't really have rich friends or family. I didn't have a lot of connections in the industry. So after buying this product, for about a year, I worked over 100-hour weeks.
Wow.
In both my day job, which was 40, 50 hours a week, and as well as at night on Atalasoft, which is working on this product, bringing it to up to speed and to the market. Slept about 4 hours a night for a year, and I should mention I had a newborn daughter at the time, so it was definitely tough. And I give my wife a lot of credit for putting up with me and supporting me through that time.
Now you mentioned imaging. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So imaging is really about taking all this information, paper information. So enterprises might have millions and millions of these paper documents stored in file cabinets or on desks or wherever, and it's very hard to organize and manage. By capturing this paper data into digital format using a scanner or a digital camera or another device like that, you can do a lot with these images, including shredding all your paper. You can organize them within these software archival programs. You can clean them up. I mentioned we have technology that does that. You can index these documents based on the information that's in the documents. You can do things like create these searchable PDFs that are generated from OCR, optical character recognition, where you can actually use Google desktop search to find the documents on your machine. These are documents that used to be paper. The other thing that I think customers might be more familiar with is digital photographs. Everybody these days has a digital camera, and that's stored as a digital image, just bits and bytes. And that data, we can do a lot with that information. There's a lot of modern tools now, Flickr and other things that enable you to store them and to store metadata within these images and so forth. And we have tools that can do all sorts of things with these images, both document, black and white type images and color images.
That's very interesting. Now, so somebody could take a scan of an old document, maybe it's an old memo or something like that, or from 30, 40 years ago, and a scan is basically the equivalent of a picture, right?
Right. It's the same thing, really, as far as we're concerned.
And then your software will go in and using optical character recognition will basically convert that or translate that to text.
Yeah, so our core competency is really not in OCR itself. We work with other vendors that support OCR, and we partner with them. We have a lot of technology that pre-processes the images, it cleans them up, deskews them, removes artifacts, noise, and that sort of thing. And and I'm sorry, your question was about that you can OCR these documents, and really it's about taking this digital information to the next level where you have intelligence. And a lot of companies, there's quite a few ECM or enterprise content management systems out there. There's a few like Documentum, FileNet. There's a new Microsoft actually has a product called SharePoint, which is a more out of the box. It's a little bit more rudimentary, but there's companies that are customizing SharePoint to meet specific vertical needs. And kind of back to where we fit, there's hundreds of companies that are developing content management systems that use our product to help them develop these systems much faster.
That's very interesting. Now, you mentioned your product is built around the Microsoft.NET framework.
Sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. So Microsoft.NET is a development framework for programmers that makes it really easy to develop applications rapidly. You might have heard the term RAD, or Rapid Application Development. And they introduced the .NET framework around 2002. At that time, the competing framework was the Java. It's a similar framework that's open source. And Microsoft has done a great job marketing this and developing it and so forth. So now there's over 1 million developers that are actually building solutions off of the .NET framework. The thing with the .NET framework is there's a lot of core fundamentals there, but not a lot in terms of imaging, and specifically document imaging. So our toolkit .image is designed to extend the .NET framework and make it really easy for developers to develop these document imaging applications with the .NET framework and our toolkit on top of that.
So .image basically it sort of like plugs into .NET. Is that a way?
Yeah,
to
it's
think of
really
it?
a component for .NET. It extends .NET. So
an extension.
Yeah,
Okay.
typically a developer will use Visual Studio, which is their development environment, and then by purchasing or installing .image on their machine, they have hundreds, thousands of other features and classes that they can use to make it really easy to develop their applications.
So they'll integrate your application within the .NET framework.
We generally don't call it an application. It's more of it's a component or toolkit. But yeah, they do that, and then when they deploy their application, they're deploying our IP along with it. So that's
great. It's great. So you've created a nice little niche for yourself.
Yeah, and
sounds like.
Yeah, and it definitely has. When we released our product, .image in 2003, we're the first to the market with a .NET imaging component, and that's really I attribute that to our success. We were the first that released this product, and we put all of our energies into this framework. And whereas our competitors at the time weren't focused there, and they had many different areas that they were looking at and dedicating resources to, where we focused on the .NET framework.
Have you remained exclusive to .NET?
Yeah, .image is exclusive to .NET. We sell primarily to .NET developers. That has really enabled us to focus in what we feel is the future in imaging, and that is web-based imaging. Through ASP.NET, we have controls and capabilities that no other product has, and that's the ability to view, annotate, collaborate on documents, any supported document, right through a browser. It requires no ActiveX, no Java applets, or no elevated security permissions, and it's really popular with our customers. They'll develop their complete imaging UI right in ASP.NET on the web, and you'll be able to essentially duplicate what you normally would see in a thick client Windows Forms-based application with our web-based image viewer.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about Atalasoft, specifically where you see the company going, maybe if you could project a year and a half and then maybe 5 years out?
It is a very rapidly changing industry, and being in a high-tech startup, you never quite know what's going to happen. But we've been growing at about 80% a year on average since we released our product .image, and it's turning out to be a really good market for us. But as you've learned with this Nitro Viewer product, we're starting to expand into different areas. Yeah. So our goal is to continue to grow at this rapid rate for as long as we can, and I think we can maintain that for the next 5 years. So you should see, you will see a lot of changes, and as we grow, you'll see hiring more developers and salespeople and so forth. But our company will always be about providing imaging solutions, document imaging solutions to developers and non-developers, to enterprises and small and medium businesses.
That's great, and I think that's a great lead into my next question here about workforce, and our National Science Foundation Center focuses on workforce development in science, technology, engineering, and math areas, and what are the opportunities for students in this area that you see?
Right, I think the opportunities are great in general. Not even looking at this area, but there is for the past 10, 15 years, there's been a lot of technology being developed. In particular, these last few years, there are hundreds and thousands of startup companies that are using these tools that make it a lot easier to develop technology, and there's tremendous opportunities in terms of software development and high tech. One of the perceptions, I think, in schools, both high schools and colleges, is that all this work is going offshore. Stay out of software development or computer science, and that's really a false perception. I mean, the reason I believe that you're seeing a lot of offshoring is that there simply is not enough resources in this area, talented developers to really grow your company. So we struggle a little bit with that. In Western Mass, it presents its own challenges. We're fortunate enough to have a university, or a few universities, UMass, Western New England College, and a few others in this area. But we're not Silicon Valley or Boston. So it's as we grow rapidly, it can be difficult to find the talented developers that we need. For example, right now we have 5 openings, and it'll take us some time to fill them.
No kidding.
Yeah. So.
What would be your ideal candidate, maybe for these 5 openings? What kind of people are you looking for?
So we're looking for 4 technical people, really software developers with computer science degrees, backgrounds, and then a technical salesperson. We look for outstanding students and outstanding engineers, and they go through a pretty well, the interview process is really about programming. They need to prove that they're a good programmer, and we really hire the best of the best. So it can be frustrating to us and some of the interviewees, but we do give it our due diligence. You really need to know what you're doing. Either have the experience that's required, or coming out of school have the theoretical background that's necessary to be a really good engineer. And on the sales side, similarly, but you have to have the technical savvy, but be able to really talk to other businesses and understand very technical products like this pretty quickly.
That's great. So if somebody comes in for an interview for one of these technical jobs, you put them in a room and give them a problem to solve? Is that
yes,
what you do?
and multiple problems.
Yeah.
Often we'll give them a problem on the phone. So they'll have to demonstrate their knowledge before they even come into the company for an on-site interview. And the interviews, we ask more than these technical problem-solving questions. We want to, for a small, growing high-tech company like ours, communication is key. You need to be a good communicator, both written, verbally, and we have this very agile development group where we every morning we actually have what we call daily scrums that we get together and we go around the table and talk about what we did the day before, what we're doing today. It's about a 15-minute meeting, but communication is definitely key at our company and pretty much any high-tech startup company like ours.
Yeah. That's great. Now Scrum, is that rugby, right?
It came from rugby. It's an engineering practice that we use for software development, and it's really helped us develop features much quicker and bring technology to the market much faster.
That's great. Now, how can people get in touch with Atalasoft?
So our website, atalasoft.com. I know it's sometimes hard to say. It's atalasoft.com. There's contact info there. There's a careers page, and you can call us or email us or stop by if you want. And we're pretty much always here.
That's great. Now, do you draw on employees from outside the area?
We do, but it's we look first to employees that live in this area. It's generally easier, they understand Western Mass, Northern Connecticut, but we have on occasion drawn some employees from the Boston area and outside this region. And I see us doing that more and more as we grow and tap a lot of the hidden talent that's in Western Mass.
Yeah, that's great. You're in a beautiful location here, beautiful building, and what a great view from here.
Well, it's a good time of year with the fall foliage behind us.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you, Gordon.
Thanks, Bill.